Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today I will explain to you about mergers and acquisition, our next topic. Okay, basically the topic here about mergers and acquisition. Alright, I think you know. Alright, it can be either one of these two situations. The first one, when a dominant company acquires of another company, like company A, a successful and a large company, and take over another company, smaller company. Okay, and then company B will be no longer exist. Okay, only company A will still exist. Okay, and then the next one, another situation when two companies of about the same size, and then they plan together to go forward, they combine, and there will be a new company formed here. Okay, so A and B combine, and there will be a new company with a new management team. Alright, then theoretically we can say here, right, mergers and acquisition is actually a types of business expansion or corporate restructuring, which is very common in the market. Okay, the main motive that drive the corporate action here is to create the synergy because of the synergy effect. So after the acquisition, right, or after the mergers, if there is a synergy creation or created here, right, so this will result in a higher shareholders value or a greater shareholders value. That means there will be a capital gain to the shareholders. Alright, next we can go to the three basic forms of acquisition. The first one is the merger or consolidation. So this is where an absorption of one firm by another firm, where the acquirer, right, or the acquiring firm will acquire all of the assets and liability of the target firm. And after the mergers, the target firm will be ceased, no longer exist. And in consolidation, the entirely new firm will be created, where both the target and the acquirer terminate their previous existence, and they will be part of the new firm. The advantage of these mergers, right? It is very straightforward, where the company will just follow the standard procedure, okay, of the mergers, and then they actually can avoid any necessity to transfer the title of the individual assets of the target firm to the acquiring firm. Okay, and therefore there will be less cost involved here. However, there are a few disadvantages where, right, it will involve the approval from the vote of the shareholders. Okay, at least 2/3 approve for these mergers. And then another one, okay, if there is a disagreement, all right, and or in other words, if the 2/3 votes of the shareholders cannot be obtained, then they will result in an expensive legal proceeding, all right, and it will normally make the cost of the acquisitions or merger here more expensive. Right, another form of acquisition is acquisitions of stock, where the acquiring company purchase the firm's voting stock in exchange for the cash or shares. That means the purchase consideration can be settled in cash or in stock. Okay, and then normally it will start as a private offer from one management to another firm's management. Okay, or it can be done through the tender offer. So what is the meaning of tender offer? Right, tender offer is the public offer, right, to buy shares of the target firm. So normally the offer will be made by one firm directly to the shareholders of another firm. That means there will be a communication between the target firm shareholders with the acquiring firm. Okay. Alright, next we go to another basic form of acquisition, that is acquisitions of asset, where all assets, okay, will be purchased or bought by the acquiring firm, and it normally require a formal vote of the shareholders of the selling firm or the target firm, and this is very costly as it involves the transfer of titles to the assets. It will involve a lots of processes or procedures. Okay, that's why it becomes costly. Okay, and however, okay, the acquisitions of asset here actually can avoid the potential problems from the minority shareholders. Normally, the minority shareholders will make the process of the acquisitions becomes more difficult, because the minority shareholders may disagree with the offer, okay, of the acquisition. All right. Next, we go to the classification scheme. All right, the classification scheme here, the first one is a horizontal acquisition. So this is where the acquisitions of one company, all right, which is in the same industry as the acquiring company. In other words, both the acquiring company and the target company are in the same industry. For example, Hyundai and Protons, which are in the same industry, automotive industry, and then they are merging. Okay, so this acquisition is considered as a horizontal acquisition. Right, another one is the conglomerate acquisition. So this is where both companies are not related to each other. So that means the acquiring company and the target company are not related to each other, that because of different industry. Okay, for example, Dell Incorporations acquiring Nagoya Textile. So both are in different industry. So this is known as conglomerate acquisition. Right, and the last one is the vertical acquisition. So vertical acquisition is involving coordination. Okay, coordinations of different processes or different steps. It involves firms at different steps of the production process to support the production, alright, from very beginning to end of the process, okay, of the productions. Okay, for example here, must take over all the travel agencies. Okay, why is that? So this will make the mass tickets can easily accessed, okay, by the customers. Okay, then must also can take over all the hotels nearby the airport. So this will make the customer can easily access the for the accommodation. So this will attract the customer to what is it to buy the to use the services provided by MAS, and then this will make the revenue of MAS increase, can make the MAS company, all right, Malaysia Airlines system here, penetrate the market. All right, so this is called as vertical acquisition. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, all right, the motive of the acquisition is to create the synergy. Alright, so theoretically, the synergy can occur when the value of the combined firm after the mergers or acquisition is greater than the sums of the value of the target firm, okay, and the value of the acquiring firm as a separate entities. So that means, okay, when the value of the acquiring firm, let's say company A, okay, and the value of the target firm, let's say company B, combine, and then they get the value of combined firm. Is the value of the combined firm here equals? So let's say this is 10 million ringgit. The value of the target firm is 5 million ringgit, and then you get the value of combined firm of 50 15 million ringgit. So that means there is no synergies created, right? So the acquisition must create synergy. How are we going to determine that? When the value of the combined firm here is higher than these two values. That is, let's say if you have the synergy of 2 million, so that means the value of the combined firm will become 17 million. So these 2 million must be created. So this will make the shareholders happy, right? The shareholders value increase. So when the shareholders value increase, that means the shareholders can get more capital gain from their investment. Okay, so that is about synergy. Okay, next here we can go to the sources of synergy. Right, you can see the sources of synergy can be from the revenue enhancement, right, cost reductions, tax reductions, and also the reductions of capital requirement. Alright, so the synergy can be created from these four sources. Okay, that means after the acquisition, the cash flow will increase because of the increase in revenue, right? And then after the synergy, cash flow will increase because of the cost reduction. That means the company, the new company, is able to reduce the production cost, is able to reduce the average cost. Okay, and then another sources of synergy is tax reduction. Okay, or more tax saving can be obtained. Okay, this will increase the cash flow of the company. Okay, and then the last one, capital requirement can be reduced, whereby after combination or after mergers, right, they will need less capital because their capital is already combined, between the acquiring company and the target company. Acquiring company's capital plus the target company's capital. So it will make the capital requirement in total reduce. Okay, now we will look at the determinations of synergy later on. Alright, I will stop at this point. Okay, and I will continue with another video. Thank you.